And we are live. Or at least we should.
Yeah.
We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure.
Yeah. Let's refresh that because I don't see shit.
Yeah, you
That's amazing. It's out backwards.
Excuse me.
Oh, Mr. Shane Beekman and Baker's Odyssey in the chat.
Tell me what they say about me. Because I know Shane's gonna have some shit to say.
Yeah, guys, welcome to the show. Back Friday Fallout. We're here again to make sure that you guys have a mediocre night. And we got Jangles in the house with us tonight, if you guys haven't noticed. And as always, awesome co-host Glenn Hefner, I believe, is on this side of the screen. We'll find out. And then, yeah. And then, let's go ahead and say hi to the chat. Jerry was here a long time ago. What's up, Jerry? I already talked to you in the chat. We got Jason in the chat as well, which is moving near Vegas, which is where I'm at, which is kind of cool. Mr. David Moyle, what's up, bro? And then we got Odyssey, what's up, man? And Shane Beekman, I love you, bro. Hope you're doing well. And T Gets, what's up, man? Welcome to the show, guys.
Heck yeah, dude. What are you vaping on tonight, dude?
Well, keep it real nice and simple, as always. You know, Rocket Blast. And the top side with the gold go, and that gold splatter, blatter, blatter, whatever. What do you
Nice.
got going on, man?
I've got the Unicorn Vert with the Passage loaded with Breeze Tones, and I've got Spiked, which is a Blue Sour Patch Kid.
Dude, I've seen that juice floating around on social media lately, and it seems to be doing pretty good.
I'm absolutely amazed that it's been floating around because
Maybe it was you. Maybe
it's probably me because that's one of the local juices from here in the Charleston, West Virginia area.
nice. So are you going?
Jangle.
I'm not saying. I'm gonna get picked on.
Oh,
what-
you're all right.
What is that? What is that? Nord?
Hey, ain't no shame, man. It works. It works.
Overpowered stack with some mint chocolate peppermint patty from Masquerade and Aegis with Peerless. And some Nom's White Peach Raspberry.
Noms, can you show me that bottle? If it's, I'm wondering if it's the same thing I'm thinking it is. Yeah, okay, yeah, because I've seen that floating around. I haven't tried it yet, but it looks fruity as fuck with all that label.
Their prickly pear is really good.
A friend sent me that bottle.
So
It's in a Christmas package. It's pretty good. It's clean. It don't gunk your coils up, so.
yeah,
Thank you.
that's what's up, especially with like fruity flavors and they burn clean. I don't change my go aheads for like 2-3 weeks almost sometimes because the two juices I use, Pink and the Rocket Blast, it don't gunk them up. You know, it keeps them nice.
Yeah, dude, one of my favorite juices of all time. You know, once they started co-packing, they just went straight downhill. But like when I first started vaping on it, it was like super clean. And all of a sudden, as soon as they start co-packing and doing other shit, they were like gunking up Jam Monster.
Goes to hell on it. That's one thing I can say about Masquerade. He doesn't use a lot of sweeteners, though.
That's my thing, dude. I love the sweeter the better, man. I want my teeth to rot out worse than they already are. You know.
I think a lot of the ones you can smell them get diabetes.
Oh.
Just get smelling them.
Feedback on the thing. Alright, yeah, my bad, dude. I do have the speakers up a little bit loud. And then, if you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys know, but your guys' YouTubes are muted. And thanks for letting me know about the sound. I didn't ask, so, but apparently you guys can see us and hear us very crunchily.
Heck yeah, dude. It's always nice to have no potatoes.
I don't think it would be our show without a potato, though.
Well,
I'll be the potato this time.
I feel like the Monday show is more prone to potato.
Yeah, what was it? When, not last week, because last week it was just me and Legion. The week before that, when we had all three of us, Adam and stuff, for some reason, I don't know what it was. Like, I guess the internet in Australia fucking reset. And then they kicked them out, and it was just me on the screen. I'm sitting there like, oh, fuck, man, I can't do this.
Heck yeah.
Reminds me of my fucking, that one job I went for. I sat on the couch and it was really weird. They asked me if I had like weird mom or dad things, and then if I was comfortable getting naked on the camera and all that stuff, you know.
So,
And you said, yeah.
Well, of course I did, you know. My butt hurt afterwards, but we won't get into that. What's up, Glenn? What were you gonna say?
how inspiring is it to see that that Twitter post from Kasa floating around?
Yeah.
Dude, that was inspiring to know that even if Congress passes that HR 2339, that President Trump is advised to veto it. And
Yeah, that's a blessing right there.
And it's insane to look at it like that. And I'll be honest with you guys, you know, we don't ever get into politics, so we won't do that line. But I think that guy says a lot of stupid shit. But which is crazy to me is I think in 10, 20 years, without even realizing it, he's going to be championed for for alternatives for shit because of the fact that he's doing this for the vape community so well, his administration and shit, you know? And people don't realize the effect that it's going to have on making people healthier, giving people a healthier option. In like 10, 20 years when they do these documentaries on like the History Channel and shit, unbeknownst to him, he's going to be the champion of the vape industry, you know?
Yeah. And aside from that, you know, that opposing that's going to be great for the economy. Like, even though our industry is
small
compared to so many of the other industries in America, you know, it would make a huge dent. And we don't need no dents.
Yeah. And what was it they were talking about? What really tripped me out too is on the left side of politics and stuff, there were some big names that also opposed it too that I would not have expected. Like I saw this thing going around with who voted for it and who didn't vote for it, and it was Ortez. I can't say her name, Castro or whatever. I can't remember her name. A lot of people hate on her because, you know, they're like, oh, she's young, dumb, and all this shit. But I think that she maybe sees it from a more personal perspective, being an average person that grew up bartending, working in bars and shit like that. I'm speaking out of turn because I don't know her experience, but I think maybe she saw it firsthand in person how much better it was than filling up a room with cigarette smoke, and maybe that's why she was against it, or maybe it was just because it was very fucking unfair to tax a bottle of nicotine that would raise it by over $1,200 if that tax passed.
Yeah, they're talking about possibly increasing the West Virginia vape tax to $1 per milliliter. I was like.
And that's insane because if you buy 120 mil, that's $120.
Yeah, that's unreasonable. I would say it would be more reasonable to tax it at the same rate as tobacco products. I mean, that is not ideal, but it's a better alternative.
Yeah, and that's it. Go ahead, Jingle, sorry.
How they could fairly tax it like they do cigarettes. I don't know how that would work out.
Yeah, it would be weird because a tax stamp, you know, if you, you know, all of us here are ex-smokers and stuff, and if you look at the bottom of your cigarettes, they got that weird little scratch and sniff looking sticker on it. It's a tax stamp, you know, and they put it on each one. But the thing is like, are you going to tax stamp every bottle or something, you know, and all that shit? And then it'd be real weird. That's why you can't do it the same way that you've done traditional tobacco products. It has to be its own thing, and that's what they're trying to do, you know, with the current administration, is create its own department to deal with this so that it can be actually handled. And, like, giving it to people that regulate how your cabbage is cut or your fucking asparagus is washed, I don't agree with it, you know?
No.
Totally. Yeah, it's a really hairy thing to get into unless you know, establish that dichotomy and categorize it separately.
Because you have to. It's its own beast. And because out here in Nevada alone, they backdoored. I know I bitch about it a lot on the stream, so I apologize for being a broken record. But they passed a tax for the 30% sales tax in Nevada and stuff like that. And I don't know if anyone here has ever worked in a company where you wholesale products, which is like what we do where I work. And you don't make that much money on a wholesale, you know what I mean? The 30% is like the most, like you'd be lucky to get 30% gain on what you paid for it, much less to tax it at that. So basically you'd have to sell your products at cost.
Yeah.
You know, getting rid of a whole industry. And shout out Becky Buckwild in the chat. That's the homie right there.
That's dangerous right there.
Yeah, that's trouble. And not to be sacrilegious, I don't to Mr. Glenn over here, because if you guys didn't know, he's a coffee connoisseur. I am going to be drinking cold brew in a can, and it tastes like trash, but I forgot to get energy drinks.
Hey, dude. Cold brew tastes like garbage no matter how you do it.
And that's a question I wanted to ask you, actually, is cold brew in a can obviously doesn't get a fair shake, yeah?
Oh, definitely. And there's some that are better than others, but all of them aren't great because what they're missing is that acidity. Granted, some people don't like that. It's not their thing, or they're doing it to do less damage on their teeth or what have you.
Is that what cold brew kind of the purpose is?
Yeah.
See, I had no fucking clue. The more you know. We got Jangos over here drinking gamer fuel.
Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, I'll tell you though, if you do get cold brew, try it over some tonic water. That's really tight.
So you just mix it together and it's like a vodka tonic maybe?
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But, I mean, there's a lot of ways you can do coffee, but it depends on what you want to get out of it.
Gotcha. So also, since we're talking about it, you did a live stream this morning, right? With brewing up some shit. So tell us what you were doing, because I missed it. I was either not awake or I was at work.
I mean, I did a pretty standard brew method, but I used the James Hoffman Ultimate V60 method, which is specifically for that conical type of brewer, and did like one of your average 1-to-15 ratio brews, and brewed up a half liter. I think the only real special part about it was the coffee that I put in it, which is an anaerobic washed coffee from Peru that I bought from Black and White Roasters in Wake Forest, North Carolina. Super tight.
Wait, they grow coffee in North Carolina?
No. They roast coffee in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
What's the coffee that I get from Cat Shit?
Kopi Luwak. That's what is that? That Indonesian civet coffee. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy with that because of the ethics of it. There's people that'll cage up civets and force feed them coffee cherries just to get that.
So wait, they actually make coffee out of animal crap?
Yeah, I mean the beans come out whole still. They just have to undergo a washing process to rid them of the other matter excreted with them.
So I'm going to assume that that's probably an expensive brew.
Yeah, it's expensive and very unethical. I'd much rather go the route of something like with an experimental process like the stuff I brewed up today, where they're calling it an anaerobic wash, but that doesn't really kind of do it justice. What they're doing is they're leaving the cherries in grain pro bags for an extended amount of time to boost the fermentation before they're depulped and dried. So it gives it a juicier, more complex flavor palette.
So
I think with just stick the pot in and pull the little handle down and get finished.
Yeah, Keurig, that's about as far as my experience goes. People at work be like, I go put on a pot of coffee. You have to Google it every time. I'm not going to lie. Jason in the chat says the definition of shitty coffee.
True that, dude.
So
literally and ethically.
I cannot believe how expensive it is, though.
I want to know, who had it in their thought process. Let's feed this chinchilla a bunch of coffee, let it poop it out, and then brew it.
I don't know. I'm sure we could catch a raccoon and test that out.
Yeah, you could catch the raccoon and I'll watch you.
That's why you find somebody that's hanging around outside of a liquor store and have them do it for you for $5.
Oh man, see, that's where people are getting it wrong. If you're underage, you don't have someone buy you beer. You have them buy you, go and catch you a raccoon and make some shit brew.
Damn right.
Fuck. I'd never even heard of anything like that, so it's kind of crazy to me to know that. I mean, a lot of stuff you think, like, how do you think of it? But to me, like, messing around with fecal matter just past my point, you know what I mean? I have dogs, and I have to clean up their poop every week in my own backyard, and I'm back there, and I'm just like, I'm a bleh, 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 much less sitting there like, this is going to be good in my stomach.
Oof, Christ, dude. And I've heard it's good, but it just doesn't sit right with me, and neither does the price point, really. I think it's far too expensive for what it is.
So how expensive, say, like, you get like a tub of Folgers or something, that's like $8-9. Obviously, I know that's probably going to be a cheap thing. How much would a tub of cat shit coffee cost you?
For about the same size tub, you'd probably be looking at like $600 or $700.
$600 or $700.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Man, apparently I'm in the wrong business. Next time you see me, I'm going to be photographing cat shit.
Because that next Monday you'll have a cat walking around in there with you.
I don't like cats as it is, much less a dig theater doo-doo. I mean, I know it's not a cat. What is it called again?
Civet.
A divid.
Civet.
A civid. Civic? Like a Honda Civic?
I will put it in the chat.
All right. I look like somebody that can say some stuff, but I can barely roll my R's, so that'll help a lot.
Yeah.
And then in the chat, Matthew Welch, welcome again, bro. Good to see you here. Says, nah, I'm good. David Moyle says, call that one Rocket Coffee. Yeah, Rocket from fucking Guardians of the Galaxy. That's perfect. Scat Caffeine, Becky Buckwild. And then I saw something up here. Where was it? It was Odyssey. Said, yeah, I'll just stick with my truck stop coffee.
Dude, ain't nothing wrong with truck stop coffee.
Civet.
At the time you're buying truck stop coffee, that's probably the best thing you can get.
I remember when I was a kid, we were traveling across the country. Welcome, Brett Jordan, in the chat. What's up, bro? My mom somehow duped this guy into marrying her and taking on our whole shit family, and we ended up moving to the east, where Jangles is at, North and South Carolina area for a little bit in New York, Albany. But anyways, we hit a lot of truck stops, and I was a kid, and I was young. I was probably like around like 12, 13. Anyways, I never drank coffee, and they didn't have energy drinks back then, but I used to always try to sneak some. And that truck station coffee, man, it hit me harder than anything I've ever tried in my whole life.
Calling you out, won't it?
Rock your world. Now, I got some down on the North Carolina-Virginia border there a few weeks ago, and it was not good. It's brewed way too hot and tasted like picking up that one Coke can that everyone's been using as an ashtray all night.
Oh.
Yeah. That's some rough shit.
Yeah, that sounds intense. Especially, like, drinking it. And then I imagine, like, I don't know how Odyssey does it. Obviously, he's drinking truck stop coffee, so like, he's driving all the time. Bro, how many times have you shit your pants?
Dude.
Get started.
Say that again, Jangles.
He felt like his thermos full when he stopped. His lad in the thermos is like 6 foot tall.
Yeah, those big ass ones.
Big Hank thermos.
Becky Buckwild said lot lizards. I said my mom was one, and then she also says she was doing big things. The biggest thing my mom ever did was get us a double wide, so I'll just say that. But yeah, I didn't have the time to do a graphic today, guys, so I appreciate you coming here regardless. I know that YouTube sends you email and stuff. It's a long day. But we do have something cool to give away later on, courtesy of Erica, my most awesome boss at Local Vape. Gave me a bunch of shit last week. Some pretty good shit, and so tonight we'll be giving away. It's brand new, so I'll open it if you guys want to see it. But a Rig Mod tanker.
Ooh.
And it is stainless steel. It's not going to focus, whatever. But yeah, it's stainless steel. And I'll open it for you guys to take a look at. And then while I try to find something to cut this plastic with, or I'll just peel it. Dennis Michael, bro, you're in the chat. You're here. Man, you are harder to find than fucking Carmen Sandiego. We need your mailing info, man, so we can send you your prize you won 6 years ago.
6 years ago.
But otherwise, Dennis, thank you for coming, man. It's good to see you. I was shouting you out on the last show, too. I was like, man, if you see the replay, you wait this long because it was like an hour-long show, get your ass into some kind of messages. So I know not everyone here has Instagram or Facebook, but if you do have Instagram or Facebook, please, Dennis Michael, hit me up at Christopher Vandal on Facebook, at Chris Vandal, like my name right here on the screen, on Instagram, so we can get you your prize, man. You still got that Mad Dog? It's been sitting here haunting me this whole time. I want it out of my house.
Dude. Hey, there's the man of the hour. It has been a pain getting his tube.
What? Oh.
The vert that he won?
Yeah, it's Mr. Shoestring Tom.
Yeah, dude. We're having to jump through some hoops because I didn't really think it through. The order was placed, and then Arkansas E-Liquids put the order on hold because they're like, hey, this is a discrepancy, dog.
Billing info, shipping info?
Yep.
Yeah.
But luckily, it should arrive here tomorrow, and I should be able to ship it out by Monday.
So, yeah.
Better late than not at all, right?
Do what?
Better late than not at all, right?
Better late than pregnant. Shout out to, where is it at? Right there. I just lost it. I'm not even stoned, guys. That's what kind of day it's been. I haven't even smoked today. Drip Vibe Vapor. What's up, chat? Oh, what's up, man? Thank you for joining. I don't think I've seen you here before. Or if you're a lady, what's up, sister? I don't want to fuck it up. But I got the box open. So, yeah, this is what you guys will be winning tonight.
Ooh-wee.
Comes with an extra coil. I don't know what it's compatible with. I don't know if Rigmod still makes these. I know these are a little bit older. But this will be tonight's lucky winner prize. Yeah, I heard it's a really good tank and all that stuff. I know Rig Mod's mostly with the mechs and the 2 mods and stuff like that. But great company.
The TFVA RBA deck with mine. She's rebuilt with it. So, yeah.
Nice. Jason in the chat says the Vert's a great little tube. Yeah, so Shoestring Tom, Glenn's working on getting that to you, man.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep him filled in on the process as much as possible.
Do you just scratch your ass, Jingles?
No, my back feels like it's breaking. It's not because it's not right, but still.
Yeah. You gotta get one of those exoskeletons, dude.
Yeah.
I'm new to the show and I'm a dude. Wow.
We're all dudes, man.
Right on.
You're a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude. We're all dudes here. But yeah, Shane says that's nice. So yeah, later on we'll do the X1 giveaway for that. We do have tinfoil hat time back. I did find something kind of cool. I don't know if you guys have Netflix or Hulu and stuff. I've been watching that show Adam Ruins Everything on Adam Conover. If you ever seen it.
Yeah.
Really great show. You learn a lot of different shit. So I got a segment. I was inspired from him to share. And then it also goes into a little bit of conspiracy shit. But other than that, yeah, man. So Glenn, you going to keep doing these coffee shows, man?
Yeah, I'm going to try to do one a week till I run out of things to do. Because there's only so much I can do with limited equipment and no budget for that.
Because that shit's expensive no matter what it is dealing with coffee, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, dude. I was looking at a metal basket filter or metal cone filter yesterday. The damn thing was $55.
For like a siphon? Like a sift?
No, it's like it's for that. It fits that brewer that I used on the live today. It's the metal cone that's laser etched.
Oh, so it's fancy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh man, it's insane. And if I wanted to get really fancy and do a Chemex, I mean, you're looking at like bare minimum $35-$40 just for a piece of glass.
Yeah.
Damn, so it's like Pyrex level and stuff.
That shit gets really expensive. And that's not even diving into the espresso side of shit, because that's a clearly different ball game, my guy.
So with the espresso, you have to use the whole like machines and all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got
you can do something similar with an AeroPress and a metal filter, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't suggest these either. I actually didn't even buy these. My roommate bought them and he won't drink them, so I take advantage of them.
Kirkland, ooh, that tells you a whole lot right there.
Yeah. Unlike their vodka, which is made by actually Grey Goose, and Grey Goose vodka and Kirkland vodka is the same thing. It just has different labels. When you buy stuff like that, you're paying for the name. But this tastes nothing like anything good.
Oh yeah, dude. You could like go to like Trader Joe's and shit. You can get like their Scotch whiskeys are made by. I mean, there's only so many distilleries in Scotland, and they actually import stuff and blend it here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Jason in the chat says, I'll stick to blow my money on vape gear. Yeah, man.
Dude, that's going to get expensive if China doesn't open their borders and take care of that coronavirus problem.
Here's the thing. I know we had, in the Monday show, we had this guy come in, RDJ, I believe, and stuff. We talked about the whole, China thing and all that. But from somebody that's in the industry here in the U.S., I can tell you that China's getting back into production because we started getting emails from companies. Hey, check out our stuff. Factory open again. Please buy.
Yeah. Dude, have you seen that meme that is going around where everybody's like, Akira is coming to fruition?
I don't know what that is, and I don't feel bad for asking now because I feel like I should know.
It's an anime from 1988 where there was a pandemic outbreak and the World Health Organization was advising Japan to postpone the 2020 Olympics. And it was pretty ironic that the 2020 Olympics are in Japan and
all this is happening.
There's a potential pandemic and the World Health Organization is advising them to postpone.
Man, that's kind of crazy. I know there's things going around too. I follow South China Morning Post. It's an Asian-based news group, you know. And there's a lot of people on there posting screenshots of like Stephen King books and shit like that saying, and it looks pretty spot on to like what's going on right now. And I'm not a... Say that again?
It was a Dean Koontz novel.
Oh, Dean Koontz, was it? Okay, one of those guys, yeah.
I think it's horseshit, though.
I don't know if I believe in it too much. Dennis Michael, funny, I sent you a friend request last week, and Breeze Stones asked, and I sent it to him also, sorry. I'll check with Adam, man, and I'll check my friend request. I don't think I got one, but I'll double check it, and we'll make sure we get that to you, Dennis. But yeah, but here's my thing, too, with stuff like that. And I'll just put it on for this. Eventually, if you guess enough things, and shit goes down, you're going to be right at least once or twice,
Right. Man, I love that you keep the tinfoil hat around. I kind of miss that, but at the same time, I'm like...
watching too.
Say that again, Jingles?
I said when no one's watching too.
Sometimes I'll be sitting in here editing photos or something during the week, and I look over and I'm just like... I put it on.
What you're thinking about?
Yeah, I gotta protect my thoughts. I don't know if you guys ever seen Futurama or anything like that, but that was on that show they had a whole thing on there, and that was the only way that the space alien couldn't read your mind.
Dude, you know what we should bring back? Horse masks.
Those things were everywhere, and they just disappeared.
Oh yeah, it was like the latter end of the end of the emo phase before its resurgence a couple of years later.
It's funny you said it too, because it was always like the emo scene kids wearing it with their black hoodies and skinny jeans, jumping around doing the hardcore dance. Well, they call it dance. I call it like windmilling, but whatever.
Right, like goth bridge raves.
My favorite one is where they play like the Teletubbies theme song or whatever, and it's got all the goth guys under the bridge like you're talking about, and it goes perfectly with like every bad song you've ever heard.
Yeah, that's perfect.
David Morrill, the Hypno Frog, the Hypno Toad, actually, yeah. But it wasn't though. Stop the Hypnotoad. I don't think he actually made an appearance in that mini series that they had. It was like the space entity taking over, and it was a little alien bug and something. God, now I just smoked, so now I lost it. So yeah.
You talking like Slurmy?
No, not Slurm, because Slurm was where he was excreting all the slime and everyone was drinking it, and that wasn't there. And then I'll try to look it up, and then I'll forget about it. We'll never talk about it again.
The other Italian plumber is in the chat. What is up, Swaggins?
My twin sister, Vapor Swaggins, thanks for dropping in, man. It's good to see you here. And then Odyssey, shout out to him in the chat. He says he just want to pass on. His wife and himself just celebrated 14 years, their 14th anniversary.
Woo! Congratulations, my dude.
Man, that's a long time.
It is a long ass time.
That's fucking
14 years flies though.
I'm not saying anything.
What?
I got married in '96, so 20.
That's like 24 years. Oh man.
Damn, dog.
Long time.
I always forget too. Me and Delane been together for like almost. I think we're hitting like 9 years now. And I always forget how long it's been. You know. And I'm just like, holy fuck. Not in a bad way, just
shit.
That's the longest commitment I ever had. I think besides playing Xbox Live, that's the only other membership to anything I've had as long.
No, the older you get, the time goes by a lot quicker. It really does.
Seems like just yesterday I was signing the dotted line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
You're like, what, 3 months out now?
Just under a month out.
That's it?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh, man. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, Glenn was in the military as well. He was in the Army. And he did, you did like, what, 6, 7 years?
8 years.
8 years? Yeah, 8 years. Fuck.
I think that's all they're doing now. They're not doing like the 3-year active duty contracts. They're doing what do you call it? 6x2s.
6 active and then 2 IRs and all that stuff. Yeah, it's funny because with all the shit going on right now, and you know the U.S. military is prepping when they send me letters, and they're like, "Hey, Christopher, because I was a Specialist Smith, we could really use your skills. Why don't you come down to our recruiting office, talk to us?" And I'm sitting there smoking a joint at the same time, going, "Man, you fucking wish." Like,
What are you gonna do? You know what really gets me? I keep getting these ads on YouTube where this dude stands out in front of Planet 13, and then they show you just a little clip of like the koi pond and some of their display cases and shit. And then he starts talking about economics, and I'm just like, you fucking ruined it.
excuse me. Still getting over the coronavirus. The worst part was, I got sick, got better for 2 days, got sick again, and then I've been coughing everything up, and I was like, man, maybe I really got it. Maybe I shouldn't have ordered that like Panda Express or something, you know, like.
You know,
Jason says, much respect to those who serve. Thank you, man. We appreciate the support. I did 8 years myself.
Absolutely.
those 8 years drag, don't they?
The first 5 went by like nothing, and then after that, man, it was just like running backwards.
When you know that you've been in too long, when they start counseling you because you haven't gotten a promotion.
Yeah, not going to the board. Used to get canceled every year.
Yeah. Why aren't you volunteering more? Because I live 5 hours away from this fucking hellhole. Why would I volunteer to do shit? That's dumb.
Yeah. It was funny too. I always tried to like butter you up, like, oh man, you could tell people and you train stuff real good because you know I'd give classes on the equipment because everyone that uses the stuff in the unit, we only had a small maintenance section and everyone else just used the equipment. We maintained it, and they're like, so we'd have to give them classes on how to change the oil if we're not there and all this shit, which most people I feel like you should know. And you know, you just tell them, I'm just like, look here, fuck sticks, change the oil, turn it counterclockwise, turn it clockwise, it's lubed, you're done. And that's how I talk to people, and they'd always try to like get me to stand by, oh no, dude, you have great communication skills, you really get the point across and stuff. I was like, dude, you're full of shit, you just need to fill spouts.
Yep. Oh man. Yeah, it really bums me out. Like the job that I did was supposedly really easy to get a job in the civilian sector, and whoever said that is full of shit. Because everybody who gets out and tries to apply in at a refinery, not gonna get that shit if you don't have a master's degree.
Yeah, you have to
unless you want to work for the government again and apply for a red shirt position for DLA Energy.
Yeah. Be a government contractor where you still have to have most of the same stipulations. You just don't have to run as much.
Yeah. And that would be fucking lame.
I did meet this one guy, though, when I was overseas, and he enlisted, and he did, 6 years, then he went government contractor, and he made it to, GS-12 or some shit like that. And, this guy was making bank, but he was like, oh, man, I don't know. Just one day it happened, and now I'm 60 years old, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm like, yeah, dude, sounds about right for everything in the military.
Yeah. There's some folks, they're doing, their civilian jobs as unit administrators, and then they've been in so fucking long, they're acting first sergeant of another company miles down the road. You're like, why?
Excuse me. Some people live and breathe it, respect to them, At one point, I lived and breathed it, but I came to a decision in my life where I didn't want to wake up at 5 in the morning, wake up at 3 in the morning and run till 5 in the morning every day of my life. And I also like marijuana.
That's it.
Yeah. I will. Cheers to that.
Yeah, man. Fucking, well, is it everybody, too, is now talking about, if they win the next presidential election and stuff, they're going to legalize it. I think that's going to be the next thing on the table federally, People are going to, it's going to come out. I mean, of course, I know a lot of states are going to fight it. And so it'll be like the reverse it is now, where some states allow it and some don't. It's going to be where a bunch do and some don't. But
yeah,
it's kind of cool to see that's being destigmatized, and all this shit. And I was Vape Advocacy AU. If you guys didn't know, follow her on Instagram. She's from Australia. She's Breeze Tones' better half, and she posts a lot of advocacy stuff. But she also posts stuff that's going on with the government's doing backward shit. So right now you see a lot of these cities and states legalizing safe injection sites and stuff like that, which some degrees more dangerous. I'm all about getting people help, but I think it's crazy that 20 years ago they treated drugs like they're treating vaping now, and then they're finally coming around to it. And then when you finally realized it, that's going to be the same fucking situation, and history just fucking repeats itself.
Yeah, I was looking at that thing that she posted earlier about the safe meth consumption. I was just like, there is no safe way to consume meth.
Say that again, Jangle. Sorry.
There's no safe way to do that.
Yeah.
No.
And here's my stance on it. There are numbers behind it to where people have, and I can't remember what it was because it was on that show again with Adam Ruins Everything, and they're talking about how safe injection sites have helped people to where as a country over in Europe, it's one of those really white Swedish countries or some shit. Anyways, since they instituted that, they went from having people overdose and die 100 plus people a year to 0, which is good that you're saving people's lives. But I don't know what goes on in those places if they're advocating for people to try to get better or something, But whatever helps people stay alive, I'm all for it, That's why a lot of us like the vape and stuff too. Although I do think it's crazy that something like that would be a little bit more acceptable than something that doesn't bother anyone and has no proven record of hurting anyone,
Yeah, I think the only people that vaping hurts are Karens who have fragile egos, and Mike Bloomberg. But fuck that old fuck.
In the chat, Cody Volger says, I want to point this out too. He's on methadone. Some people don't like it, but it saved his life and his harm reduction, just like vaping. Exactly. And I don't mean to disrespect or talk down about anything that goes on like that. If that's how it came off, I apologize. But more or less to the point of, if you're going to do it for one thing, you should do it for another, Especially, and not necessarily you should have, say, vape sites, but you know what I mean? Common sense regulation and common sense use towards two different things. Because I do feel one is more extreme, and I'm not saying no one doesn't deserve help, but it should be fair to be able to have your vape and then also be able to save people's lives doing that as well.
Yeah. I would completely agree with you. It's really interesting, like how many people you walk by on the street that might have or might be in something like a Suboxone program because they, say had a back injury and got hopped up on pain pills.
Yeah. I had an aunt that I lived with when I was younger, when I was going through my phases of, trying to get out on my own, and I was a teenager. And they really, really nice lady. She actually painted this yellow painting I have back here. Anyways, she ended up getting in a bad car situation, and she had to take painkillers, and they ended up taking her life eventually. And that's something that's handed to you over the counter from a doctor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's crazy to see that there's doctors out here that would easily let something like Oxycontin stay on the market after how many people it's affected, and there's a proven record of something, but yet we're being scrutinized so bad for something that has no proven record of hurt anyone, but also helps people.
I mean, shit, you could even argue that nicotine vaping could be good and potential therapy for Parkinson's patients.
Yeah. Parkinson's, I also saw some stuff that says it helps with Alzheimer's maybe and things like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential there, and it's like with the marijuana thing. They're finding it now. And people are fucking weird. We're a lot of us believe in one way and we stick with it. It's hard for us to change our minds, and that's understandable. But you need to be open-minded on something that if it doesn't benefit you, but it doesn't take away from you and it benefits someone else, then it probably shouldn't be none of your fucking business.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with that. It's, whatever works for you, man.
You gotta get shit.
Well, being addicted to painkillers, I can totally relate to that. And recently, because I just recently have come down from a mega dose of opiate. I mean, like a lot. Glenn knows. I talked to him about it a while back. It was a lot.
And the worst part is you don't have any other option.
No.
That's absurd that there are limited options for that, man.
Yeah, I didn't realize how much it was consuming me,
Right.
It kind of just becomes second nature.
The first thing, the last thing on your mind.
Okay, Cody Vogler says he's heard that a guy he knows cured his cancer with cannabis oil.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories out there about it really helping people, and I can't say I know stats or nothing like that, but I've seen it firsthand with like videos where you see these kids that grow up with seizures and stuff like that, and then they get the cannabis, like, you see them, they're having a seizure on the couch, and their parents are watching them, and then they show them drip the cannabis oil in their mouth, and not even 2 minutes later, the kid stops shaking, he's not trying to bite his tongue off no more, and he's feeling fine. And it's crazy to me that because of some personal belief, you would stop someone else from living a comfortable life.
Yeah, there's those viral videos I saw going around where this gentleman had a nerve disorder and he's constantly twitching like worse than Michael J. Fox's Parkinson's tremors, and his wife had to light this little one hitter for him, and within 15 minutes he was not twitching at all.
I think I've seen that one too.
Oh, yeah.
There's been
Respiratory therapy. Fuck yeah.
It's amazing.
Say that again, Jingles. Sorry, I cut you out.
No, there's been several documentaries and stories on different shows about, what cannabis and CBD and hemp oil, whatever, does for people. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Would be for me, because, I look like Linda Blair in The Exorcist when I start smoking that shit. But still, that's me.
Yeah. Shout out to Jason in the chat. Just dropped the knowledge I can't remember, is that nicotine therapy has been proven to help with cognitive function in patients with Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. So there is a benefit to it. And what's a better delivery system than a vape? You know what I mean? It gets right into your bloodstream right away. You don't need the patches. You don't need the gums. You don't need to take the stuff. What was it? That one medicine that made that guy kill his wife, and he was the nicotine medicine?
Oh, Chantix.
Chantix, yeah, and like, Yeah, it's crazy because this stuff has no side effects besides if you get a bad hit or if, like, you know, you get a little bit of juice in your mouth. And, like, you know, there's not a... And then when you watch those things for Chantix, the fucking... Like, it may cause depression, may want to kill yourself, may have suicidal thoughts, may have diarrhea, may have anal leakage. Like, what the fuck? And you're going to peddle that shit.
Yeah, you know, it's insane how those side effects will more often than not appear. Like, when I was on, Cymbalta for my depression, I would rage all the time, and then just as soon as I would hit those manic stages, I would crash and get really depressive.
And I heard it's way worse on that back end too, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the withdrawals from that shit are insane. Like, I think the best thing I've ever done was start smoking regularly because, like, without that, I probably wouldn't be chill enough to even come on here.
Yeah. Believe me, if I was
you've come a long ways in the last 6 months.
I appreciate that, my dude. That's high praise.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're the man, Jangles.
The shades help too, right?
Say what?
I said the shades help too, right?
Yeah, they keep it low key.
Jason in the chat threw in Chantix is only legal in the U.S. No other country will approve it. Yeah, and that's our dependency on trying to synthesize things and then make them into a profitable thing instead of just taking what's straight from the earth and using it. You know.
Yeah. What was that company? Was it Pfizer or GlaxoSmithKline that was trying to escape paying tax penalties here in the U.S. By relocating to Ireland there a couple years ago?
I heard about that. I don't remember the name of the company though, but I know which one.
What?
I know what you're
I
talking
really
about.
want to say it was Pfizer. Oddly enough,
That wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if it did.
Oh man! All right, so we're hitting about 10 minutes till an hour. You know what, guys? I'm not feeling up to it, so we're gonna skip tinfoil hat time because I don't feel like reading. But start throwing them the X1s in the chat, and we will be giving you guys this rig mod tanker, stainless steel. If my camera focuses, it's not gonna focus. Anyways, fresh out of the box, and it will be yours.
and it's got me thinking about some old school shit. Like at my apartment, I've got one of those who was it? Wismec theorems that Matt Cully designed there several years ago.
Yeah. That's cool.
Doesn't vape worth a shit now. Back then, it was the bee's knees.
Matt designed that. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm much more accustomed to exotic coils, and I feel like doing vertical builds is just not my forte.
I just returned from the Adams School. Pretty good.
Shoestring Tom said marijuana was demonized so they could keep getting the funds for the DEA. If you guys didn't know, in the United States, most big enforcement agencies like the FBI, the DEA, and all that shit like that are funded by the drug monies and the properties that they seize from taking over these, like, you know, well, you call them drug lords or whatever, whether it's like cocaine or marijuana and stuff, and then they reuse those products in stings and things like that, which means that instead of actually taking things off of the ground for people, they're providing it in a way that they benefit from it, and then there's no way of retribution, because if they sell it to someone, they can just jail you for it.
Yeah.
And
Tinfoil hat here, but I'm pretty sure that the DEA, FBI, and CIA are responsible for bringing a lot of the drugs into the U.S.
Exactly. I was going to say that myself.
I had a buddy of mine who was in Afghanistan and was telling me that he was posted watch over poppy fields.
Yep.
And why the fuck would you need to watch over a poppy field?
That's the thing right there. Medical grade heroin comes from the poppy fields in Afghanistan, and your buddy was absolutely correct. I didn't do it personally, but there were people out there that were doing that while I was there. And there was also marijuana farms out there that were protected and things like that, which is kind of crazy that you're going to have a war on drugs, but then go to another place across the world and protect it.
Yeah, and what blows my mind here, I can't remember if it was Emily that shared that or not, but there's something here a while back about Tasmania being one of the largest producers of opioids.
I didn't see that, but I wouldn't doubt it. A lot of that stuff comes from outside the U.S.
What was that, Jangles?
I said it would have to be a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, the largest producer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, Afghanistan's supposedly littered with nothing but poppy fields until you get to the mountains.
And that's the thing, people don't understand. These terrorist organizations and groups out there, these jihadists and stuff, they're funded through the drug trade. They don't have jobs. They don't go out and sell cars. They don't, steal your palace and stuff like that. They take over these poppy fields and they sell the drugs to the distributors of the world. Why do you think we're coming to it? All right, here, I'll put it on. Fucking, right now you see it in the news where we're talking about being in peace talks with the Taliban and all that stuff in Afghanistan to end the endless war. It is an endless war. It's been an endless war. There are kids now that were born and now before the war started or after the war started and are serving in that country and that war. And if we're really out there trying to help people's hearts and minds, why are we trying to make a deal with drug dealers? You know what I mean?
It's insane to think that I've been alive as long as we've been in the Middle East. Well, less time than we've been in the Middle East. Shit, the Gulf War was what, late 80s, early 90s?
Early 90s, yeah.
Yeah, around 90, 91. Around there.
I will say, though, one thing that did come positive out of the Gulf War was Pauly Shore's in the Army now. I thought that was one of the most hilarious movies I've ever seen.
I got so much shit when I was 17 because I tried to enlist then, and that job, water treatment specialist, was what I chose then.
It's funny you say that. My first unit I was ever in being a mechanic for was a quartermaster unit, and it was a water purification unit.
Fuck yeah. My first unit was a water treatment unit as well. We had until I got recalled up to the petroleum group.
Yeah. And it's funny because they had these big ass trailers called row pews and stuff where they do all the water purification stuff, and it looks like something out of Breaking Bad. But
damn right.
In the military, if any of you guys don't know, everything's super dumbed down, and they treated it like the water purification guys walk around acting like they knew all this crazy shit and like scientists and stuff, but everything comes pre-packaged and you just drop it in, you know.
Yeah, isn't it funny how there's really not that much on those row pew trailers, but it takes an entire platoon to offload them half the day.
I hated working on those because they had the motors on the front, you know, that would run the ACs and the whole system and all that stuff. So it's basically like a mini generator without the generator. Well, it has a generator and all that shit. And those were in the smallest, tiniest spots ever on the front of a truck where to connect to a 5-ton. So you had like this much space to try and turn a wrench that was this long, you know?
Yeah. If anything goes like wrong internally and you don't have the parts, you got to fucking offload that entire engine, generator, and ECU and send it back to fucking Fisher Panda.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's one of our oh shit, what the fuck were they? I'm drawing a blank here. Our Pequods, the mobile labs, had the the generator ripped off of it, like. Yeah. Like that sucker spent 2 years sitting at one of the shops.
Yeah, sitting at depot, not getting touched because no one wanted to fuck with it. We did some sling load training before we went overseas with my unit, and basically, if you guys don't know, sling load is where a Chinook would come in, has 2 hooks that come down, and you hook up something to a flat, like a pallet-looking thing, so whether it be a generator or a truck or whatever, and you ratchet it all down. And then when the helicopter comes, you're standing on top of the ground wire, because if not, you can get electrocuted. hook it up. The helicopter flies, and then drops it off at the site, and then comes back. Well, we had this one guy. He was an E6 staff sausage, total douchebag. Thought he knew everything. He was doing everything wrong, but you can't, speak up because he's a higher rank than you and all that shit. So you just go with the flow. So I was like, hey man, like that doesn't look right, bro. He's like, I've been doing this for 15 years since you're knee high, blah blah blah. I know better. I was like, all right, you know what? No problem, staff sausage. Do your thing. Hooked up with this, hooked it up to the helicopter hooks. Motherfucker flew maybe 10 feet, and the front one came right off the front of the fucking pallet, and then a $200,000 generator flies to the ground from about 80, 90 feet. So needless to say, that guy didn't go overseas with us.
Yeah, that's a real fuck up. You should never go anywhere near a helicopter, especially if you're sling loading or refueling without a ground wire, or at least a grounding rod to put one of their grounding wires on it, and a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. Excuse me, I keep coughing. All right, guys, throw in some more X1s in there, and then we'll do this giveaway in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. Heaven forbid you just operate by the SOP, right?
I know better because I've done it before. Okay, pal. It's not Billy's army,
That's fucking Pauly Shore's army, dog.
Yeah. And you know how cool it would have been to have one of those goddamn off-road dune buggies riding around,
Damn right.
I never got a dune buggy. I did get a Gator. We put a dead switch on, but besides that,
We straight up needed one of them biodome shits.
Oh my god, dude. Biodome was one of the best movies ever. If you guys haven't seen it, you go watch it. I think it's on Netflix or for free on YouTube even.
Dude, I can't wait for that new FX series, Dave.
With Lil Dicky. Yeah, I saw that today. I actually just saw that. If you guys didn't know, Lil Dicky's getting his own TV show on FX.
Oh, it's going to be tight.
And if you guys don't know who Lil Dicky is, he's probably one of the best white rappers I've ever seen as far as comedy-wise. But he has skills, I'm not talking like Eminem over here murdering people, but he flows and, man, he gets everybody involved.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to be good if you're dropping a hot album and you can land features like Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. Being a corny, curly-headed guy.
Yeah, Tropic Thunder. That was a strange one.
That's funny too. I've seen resurgences of people talking about that movie and all that, and it's crazy to think when you look back, like what you used to watch on TV or anything like 10 years ago compared to now. A lot of shit wouldn't fly.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think in my lifetime Adam Sandler has lost his touch.
Yeah, that's one of the saddest things I've ever had to see, because I grew up being a super big Adam Sandler fan, and if you like his new stuff, okay, cool, that's good for you, but I'm just not vibing with it.
Yeah, he's great with comedy, but his serious movies, they can suck a fat one. Just like Spanglish and Punch Drunk Love were absolutely more appalling than watching telenovelas in the mid-afternoon.
All right, I'm about to grab these X1s, throw them in the randomizer, and we'll have our guest tonight, Jangles, choose a number. But I totally forgot the whole time. If you guys ever need to buy any vape gear, localvape.com, you can use our discount code Amigos20, and it'll save you 20% off your whole order. And that's everything in the store. But you can also get Breeze Tones coils at Local Vape if you're in the U.S., and our Local Vape is the signature supplier of them to the U.S. Also, he's going to have 2 new types coming to the store soon, so make sure you check that out. And I'll do another shameless plug. Local Vape is also having a 35% off everything sale, I think. I should know more about my job. Anyways, if you go to the website, localvape.com, after this weekend, use Amigos20, save 20% off. But right now, you should go check out the sale if you need anything.
Damn right, dog. I could always use more juice. And some more Breeze Tones coils.
I'm pretty excited to see his new ones hit the market, too, because I know a lot of people have been asking for him to mix it up.
Dude, if he's dropping 27s, that'll be the first thing I buy. Straight up, I need something smaller for that blotto because I'm using the ones that he has currently available, the 26s, man, and it's just far too tight.
I know he's talking about making something smaller, and I should know better, but I'm just not in the right mind state right now. But I know he's got some bitchin' stuff coming, and I should know the specs, but you guys can always shoot him a message, too, at Breeze Tones on Instagram. Very great guy, and he's also the co-host of our show on Monday with Legion Babes.
On another note, did you see that Switch Mods has started diving into the disposable market?
Mm-mm.
I saw that.
Oh, it's absolutely the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, man.
Why?
Like, why?
I know
Like,
that-
don't get me wrong, I like puff bars, but why drop an entire line to make a knockoff puff bar?
I've noticed another company make their own line that's in pre-loaded, unrefillable things, and like if you have a good product and it's gonna get out there and help people, that's cool. But I see a lot of people doing it to just jump on the trend, to try to be look like the gas station shit that's selling. But if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's coming down. That gas station stuff's not gonna be around for long. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go the way that it is in a lot of places, to where you're only gonna be able to buy vape gear in a vape shop, and you can't buy stuff like Juul and stuff like that in a normal vape shop, because for the most part they don't sell to vape shops.
Yeah, I really, as much as I hate to say it, I think that we'll be better off if we can dominate the market with vape shop only stuff.
It'd be good to corner the market that way, and then when someone comes in looking for advice, they're not just grabbing it from the random cashier at a store. They're getting it from someone that has the experience behind it to help you find the best thing for you to quit. Because I've tried vaping before, it actually stuck with me, and it didn't work for me until I found the right setup with the right people giving me the right advice.
Yeah, it's nice to walk into a brick and mortar and be able to try different things before you make a decision.
Because this stuff's not cheap. Pack of cigarettes you could throw away. You're not going to throw away a $60, $70 mod.
Exactly.
But all right,
unless you're freaking out and decide you want to take it apart along with your television.
There's bugs in the TV. Jangles, choose a number between 1 and 154.
96.
96. And it is Shane Beekman.
Imagine that.
Shout out Voca in the chat. You got here late, man. We're about to close out the show, but thank you for stopping by anyways.
Heck yeah. It's nice to see everybody coming over from the green room to join us and hang out.
Yeah, those guys are real cool guys. You guys haven't seen them yet. The green room were Frames, Janklin, Sean Typhoon, and Overdrip. Great group of guys. They did a tribute show tonight to Mike from... I feel bad for forgetting the name. Oh, wow.
Every vapor.
Yeah, and they did a great show with that. I didn't know the guy personally, but it seemed like he touched a lot of people's lives. And so, I wish I had the link right here. I'm sorry, guys, I don't. But they do have a GoFundMe running around. If you guys do follow any of them on Instagram, if you can help out their family with some of the expenses, please do. But yeah, you guys can check them out before our show every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific. I don't know what time that is out everywhere else in the world. And they also do a Monday show called Vaping with the Omies. But yeah, so... I don't know what happened to Glenn. Shane Beekman, you already know the drill. Shoot me your info on Instagram or Facebook, please, and I'll get this sent out to you on Monday morning. And otherwise, Jingles, you got any closing thoughts, man? Oh, here we go. We got him back for the closing thoughts.
There he is. I can't think straight, so...
Yeah.
Maybe he can...
Yeah, my computer died.
I was wondering what happened. Voca in the chat says Mark Clo. Yeah, that I don't want to say his name wrong, but yeah, Mark. And so make sure you guys go show some support and some love. He touched a lot of people in the community. He sounded like a really great guy. I don't know him personally, but from the experiences that they were sharing, if anyone deserves the help, it would be him and his family right now. So please check him out on Instagram. You can find the links on Frames Jinklin, Green Room Vapors, Sean Typhoon, and all those guys. So make sure you go do that. But I was asking... if you had any closing thoughts. Jingle said she ain't got nothing.
Well, we covered about everything.
Perfect. And then what about you, Glenn?
Man, with all the happenings as of late, I think that the best thing that we can do as of right now is just stay close and support each other, because that's the only way that we're going to make it through this seemingly endless war.
And that's the thing, we do have to stick together. Glenn's got it right. And when things seem hopeless, like with all this stuff going through with the federal ban, something came in at the last second and saved it. Don't get hopeless, guys. There's always hope out there. always bring it back in, or reflect on why you're doing it. Reflect on why you're here. Reflect on why you want to be here. Make sure that you're doing things for the right reason, and make sure that you're doing something that helps support other people. You don't have to go out and give money to people. You don't have to go out and do stuff for them necessarily. But being around for people and being there for them and making sure that they're okay means a lot. And especially with how draining everything can be. So make sure you do that, guys.
Yep.
Amen to that, dude.
But other than that, we ain't got much else to say, so we'll close it out. And I'll be back on Monday with Breeze Tones and Legion. And otherwise, we should be back next Friday. Jangles, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us, man.
Absolutely, man. Enjoyed it.
Otherwise, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you next time.
All right, everybody.